Yes, people, Arsenal with Ash. I'm back from my little international break. Went to Turkey, had a lovely time, but I'm back. I'm ready for the end of the season, the final sprint. It's gonna be tense. It's gonna be nerve-wracking, but it's gonna be exciting. Obviously, the international break, it came at a time where we was firing on in great form. Um, but yeah, I think to be fair, the international break was actually decent. It was decent. We had some decent games in there. Some big countries coming up against each other. Obviously, there's the European Championships in the summer, so the top European countries are getting ready um for the type of opponents they're gonna face. So there were some big matchups. You had the likes of England, Brazil. You had Spain, Brazil, Germany, France, Germany, Netherlands. So you had some big games in there. So to be fair, I don't normally like the international break, but I thought it was decent. Had some good games in there. Obviously, with England, Gareth Southgate, he loves to overuse players. I think even in the Belgium game, he's not made a sub until like the 72nd minute. Declan Rice plays 90 minutes of both games, but luckily he's come out unscathed. I think in terms of, I don't think we have many injuries. Obviously, we had Saka pull out of the England squad. We had Gabriel pull out of the Brazil squad. We also had Martinelli already injured. But from the interview that Arteta's done pre-match for the City game, it looks like all three of those players are going to make it. So, yeah, we pretty much got a fully fit squad. We had Tomiyasu and Partey taking part in behind closed doors friendlies over the international break, getting them up to speed. So the only other one is Timber, who apparently could be in the squad within the next couple of weeks. So yeah, it's looking good for us. But yeah, this is the time. 10 Premier League games left. Champions League quarterfinals. We found out we're playing Bayern Munich in that, and then if we win, we play City or Madrid. It's crazy, but it's exciting. Big games galore. We've got a mad fixture list now, so Arteta's gonna have to use the squad properly. He's gonna have to trust the fringe players. I think the good thing is we've got players that are coming back from injury at the right time. So the likes of Vieira should be up to speed after a couple of weeks back on the training ground to add to what he was already doing. Partey, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, all these players, they're back. Jesus back. So yeah, it's a bit different from last season where we were losing players. So hopefully we have a different outcome. We need it. We really, really need it. But yeah, it's going to be tough, and that's the thing. Arteta needs to trust the squad. So in the past, he's obviously had issues where we feel like he hasn't really used the squad as much as he could, because it seems like he didn't trust them until he was forced into it. So we saw it with Rob Holding last season. But now I think this season we've got a much stronger squad. So the players that we're going to have to rely on are much stronger than what we've had in previous years. So hopefully he goes on to use them. I'm going to have a quick look at the next five for the top three. This is the Premier League. So obviously Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. Yeah, obviously we play Man City. It's a massive matchup on Sunday. We play Man City away. So obviously Man City have us. Liverpool play Brighton the game before that. So yeah, so we've got City away. We've got Luton at home then on the Wednesday. And then we've got it's not Villa, Brighton away next Saturday. Then Villa at home the following week, and then Wolves away. So it's tough games. Every game's going to be tough now. Even the Luton game, because Luton are fighting for their lives. The City game, obviously, we don't know how that's going to go. I'll preview that a bit later. Luton, we'd expect to get 3 points, but on a Wednesday night after we've played City, it's going to be tough. Brighton away, always a tough place to go. Obviously, we won quite comfortably there last season, but they're always a tough team to play. And then Villa at home, they're obviously flying this season. They beat us already this season. Another tough game, but we're at home, so we'd be confident with that. And then, like I said, Wolves away. Tough game. Wolves away is always a tough game, and they're having a good season. Let's have a look at Liverpool's fixtures. So Liverpool, like I said, are playing Brighton at home on Sunday, and then they've got Sheffield United on Thursday. So you'd expect them to win both of those games, especially the Sheffield United one. But then they go to United at Old Trafford. Now, obviously, just before the international break, they've lost there in the FA Cup in a dramatic way. So that's going to be tough. United aren't going to want them to win the league. Well, hopefully they're not. But the way some of these United fans are talking, obviously, luckily they don't play the game. But yeah, they're going to want to get one up on them. And also, they're fighting for top 4, top 5 if that gets Champions League. So that's a tough game for them. And then they've got Palace at home the next week, and then Fulham away. You'd expect them to beat Palace at home. Fulham, bit different. You never know. They've beaten both us and Spurs, I think, at their place. So Fulham, you never know what you're really going to get from them. But I think most of them, apart from obviously the United game, you'd expect Liverpool to win those. And then City, and like I said, they got us on Sunday. Big game. They then have Villa at home midweek, which is another tough game. Obviously, you'd expect City to win because they're at home. But Villa having a great season. So you never know with that. Then City go to Palace on the weekend. Then they have Luton at home. And then Tottenham away. Now, Tottenham always seem to give City a tough game. So yeah, that one is where I think us and Liverpool fans will be looking and thinking, hopefully they can get something out of that game, those dirty Spurs. But yeah, hopefully they can do us a favour. And Jed, I've got a couple of people that's asked me a few interesting questions over the international break, actually, which gave a bit of food for thought. So the first one, which trophy, if I had to pick, which trophy would I rather win? The Premier League or the Champions League? Obviously, the Premier League we haven't won in 20 years now. So the last time we won it was the Invincible season, 2003, 2004. But the Champions League we've never won. So I'd lean towards the Champions League. Obviously, I want to win both, but I'd have to say the Champions League. Just the pure fact we've never won it. It's what always gets held over our head about our European pedigree, all of this. But if I had to pick one, it has to be the Champions League. And it's at Wembley. The final is at Wembley. So in our own country, it would be mad. It would be mad. Another question, if you win nothing, do you start questioning Arteta? Me personally, no chance. No chance. We're in this position because of what he has done with this club. Him and Edu and obviously Josh Kroenke and obviously whoever else. But there's no way I'd get rid of him. I can't hold him in enough high regard. Like, I think he is the next one up. Obviously, we've got Pep Guardiola, who's just miles ahead of everyone else. But I think Arteta now sits in that pool underneath him. I think he's unbelievable. He's transformed the club. He won a trophy in his first 6 months there. He's got rid of a lot of dead wood. He's brought in a new culture, even the atmosphere and stuff like that. There's no way I'd get rid of him. Obviously, we want to start winning big things, and then it would be 2 seasons with challenging, but without actually winning anything. But to change it after that, we're just starting again. It doesn't really make sense. So yeah, I'll definitely stick with Arteta if we were to not win anything, but hopefully that doesn't happen. And the last question, do you think Arsenal will deal with this run-in better than last year? I do, and there's a few factors. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with injuries over the next few weeks, but so far we've got a stronger squad than we did last year. We've obviously got an extra year's experience because last year was our first title race in how many years? First for this squad. So hopefully you'd expect them to have learnt a lot from that. Declan Rice, massive signing. He's been unbelievable this season. He'll be in the running for player of the season. He's a massive factor. We've got the likes of, obviously Jorginho was here last year, but him and Havertz, they've won big trophies in the past. So that experience is you can't look past it. And yeah, we just seem more well equipped. We're less emotional than we were last season. Obviously, the difference is there's 2 extra teams in this title race. Last season, there was just us and City. Now it's us, City and Liverpool. And it's a lot closer than it was last season at this point. So yeah, I think a lot of it rides on this City game. But I definitely think we're much more well equipped to deal with the pressures of the running. And yeah, hopefully we'll do it. But we'll see. It's a big couple of months ahead. Hopefully it ends with at least one piece of silverware. If it does, I'm going to lose it. I can't even explain how happy I'm going to be if we win one of these trophies. But anyway, let's get through it one game at a time. And yeah, let's see what happens, man. Come on, you Gunners.